welcome to day one. Today is day one. Tonight is day one of the Bank Ready Boardroom. And you know what? Beyond this being an experience, the one thing that I love is everyone understanding how important mindset is. So as you're logging on, make sure you are muted out, so we don't want to hinder anyone's attention. Listen, if you can, turn your cameras on. Make sure you've got your notebooks and your pens. You're only going to remember about 20% of the information that you hear. My name is Nina Mora, and I will be with you tonight and tomorrow. We're going to be hosting, and we're going to make sure that our minds are right. So as you're logging on, I see you, Sherelle. Hello to you. Let us know where you're logging in from, what city, what state, in or what country you are logging in from. We definitely want to celebrate you for being here because you certainly understand that mindset matters. Harlem, New York, I see you. Houston, Texas. All right, H-Town, I was just in Houston and I'll be back in June. All right, H-Town, Memphis, Tennessee. I love Memphis. Akron, Ohio, New York City. So y'all, I'm from Philadelphia, so I'm very familiar with that area. New York, the tri-state area. Hello, hello, Harlem, New York City. Hello, hello, hello to you. Well, welcome Las Vegas, Nevada. I was in Las Vegas in February. All right, you all. So let's get rocking and rolling. Listen, what we're going to learn for the next 2 nights is how we cannot build a wealthy life with a wounded identity. All right, I want to say that again. We cannot build a wealthy life with a wounded identity. So the goal of these mindset calls is not just to inspire, because I am not here to motivate or inspire anyone to make more money. The goal is to help you become the version of yourselves who can steward more money, more responsibility, more visibility, more discipline, more influence, and more impact. Most people are not lacking opportunity. They are lacking identity alignment, which is why you see a lot of people kind of will get the bag. They don't secure the bag. So there's a lot of people that fumble the bag. And oftentimes, one of the biggest reasons why people fumble the bag is because of our mindsets, right? And so people keep asking God for overflow, but they have not expanded their capacity. They keep asking for wealth, but they have not healed their relationship with money. They keep asking for leadership, but they still negotiate with discipline. They keep asking for the platform. How many of you know somebody that's asking for the platform? They think they want the stage. They think they want the big teams. They think they want the big businesses. They think they want the microphone, but they still shrink when it is time to be seen. They keep saying that they want abundance, but they still think, speak, and move like lack is their normal. Well, this week in the Bank Ready Boardroom, this week is about confronting the mindset, identity, habits, and spiritual agreement systems that keep people living beneath what God intended. Now, there's a good book that I like to read, and in this good book, in a chapter called 3 John, it says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as our souls prosper." And when I think about that particular scripture in that book, it teaches us that prosperity is not one-dimensional. It's not one-dimensional. You see, God is concerned with the whole person. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, let me see you write whole person in the comments. See, God is concerned with the soul, the body, the spirit, the finances, the assignment, and the fruit. And the fruit. Which is why, guess what? In this good book that I read, money is mentioned more than anything else. See, the soul must prosper before the life can sustain prosperity. So a lot of people look at the money, but they don't think about what has to happen before the money. A person can receive money and still lose it if their soul is still in survival. And there are a lot of people that are operating today out of survival mode. A person can receive attention and still sabotage it if their confidence is not healed. A person can receive opportunity and still mishandle it if their discipline is undeveloped. A person can be called to abundance and still live in fear if they never renew their mind. So this is not, what is it? Who is it? Jaredrick? I don't know. I'm sorry. I probably botched your name all up. This is not about becoming someone else. That's not what this is about. This is about finally agreeing with who God already said you are. See, we think we're looking for, I see you, Rev Real Estate. We think we're looking for abundance. We think we're looking for wealth. No. See, it was already given to us. We were born royalty. We were born in abundance. So guess what? We're not looking for anything. And guess what? Everything we need is already inside of us. Maybe it hasn't manifested yet, but every single thing we need is already inside of us. So here's what happens. Identity comes before increase. I don't know about you all, but if you know you're ready for increase, type increase in the comments. See, you didn't just happen to stumble upon this post that led you to the Bank Ready Boardroom. You didn't just stumble upon a post that said, oh, let me go sign up for this. Let me go see what this is all about. No, you were summoned here. You were summoned here because it is your season. You prayed about it. You fasted for it. And now what are you going to do about it? What I've got to now at least let you know is that we're never going to outperform the identity that we secretly agree with. Never. I'm going to say that again. We will never outperform the identity we secretly agree with. I think that one is so good, I probably should say it a third time. We can never outperform the identity we secretly agree with. So if you in secret agree with lack being your portion, then you will have nothing but lack. If you secretly agree with, if you find yourself saying things like, I never win, I'm always broke, I'm always sick, nobody ever buys from me, then guess what? If you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you can't. And death and life really is in the power of what we say in our tongue. Death and life. So we can choose. We can choose, but here's the thing. We can choose all we want. We will never outperform the identity we secretly agree with. So most people don't have a money problem. Most people don't have a consistency problem. Nope. Most people don't have a confidence problem. Most people have an identity problem. And having the identity problem is what keeps producing those symptoms. You see, all of those things are symptoms of a lack of identity. There's a great book and audio that I listen to and I read all the time. You should invest some time in listening to the self-confidence formula over and over and over and over again. You got to see yourself. You can't even seize it until you see it. So because when a person does not know who they are, when a person doesn't know whose they are, they will shrink in rooms that they were assigned to lead. Oh my goodness. They will apologize for gifts that they were supposed to multiply. They will ask for permission where they were called to take territory. You see, they will call humility what really is fear. They will call procrastination what really is self-protection. They will call I'm not ready what is really unbelief in disguise. I want you to type in the chat right now, I'm not shrinking anymore. I'm not shrinking anymore. See, because you got to understand that you have a right to walk into the room with your chest out. They know you're good. You know what's so crazy? Is the enemy knows how good you are. The enemy knows how good you are, which is why he wants you to shrink when you walk into the rooms. Operate out of imposter syndrome. But we're not shrinking anymore. Tonight, we're not just talking about mindset. We're talking about the identity that is running your mindset. Because mindset is not just positive thinking. Mindset is the operating system of our identity. Who are you? Whose are you? Well, I'm a daughter of the Most High. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't waiting on my mom or my dad to have it. I was already born to wealth and abundance. So all I had to do is put on see, you know what? We got to take off the mask and the super suit we've been wearing. Most of us are wearing a loser super suit. It's time to put on the winning super suit. I don't know about y'all, but when I was a kid, Mr. Whitehead, I used to play like I was Wonder Woman. I used to think I was Wonder Woman. I don't know about y'all, but I mean, I literally used to put on bracelets and pam pam and think that I was Wonder Woman. I don't know what happened as we became adults and as life started life and while we stopped believing that we had these superpowers. We were born with superpowers. We were born with the ability to create wealth. And guess what? It's in our hands. There's a good book that says so. So if the identity is wounded, the mindset will be unstable. And if the identity is fearful, the decisions will be delayed. And if the identity is rooted in rejection, the person will need constant validation. Oh my goodness. So you know what? In this good book that I read, there's a guy named David. And guess what? David, with all of his flaws, he learned to encourage himself. And sometimes you got to look into the mirror and speak those things that are not as though they are. And start speaking, I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am the lender and not the borrower. I am the first and not the last. And look in the mirror and talk to yourself, because I told you last night, our subconscious mind doesn't even know the difference between the truth and a lie. So some of you got to keep tricking yourself and change the costume. Because if your identity stays rooted in rejection, you're going to continue to need what? Constant validation. You're going to need your wife to validate you all the time. You're going to need your boyfriend or your girlfriend to validate you all the time. You're going to need your friends to celebrate you all the time. No, look in the mirror and say, I love me some me. I love me some me. Because here's the thing. If identity is built on royalty, discipline becomes natural because royalty does not move randomly. See, royalty operates in a certain way. See, because royalty knows their royalty, when they walk into the room, they walk with their head up high. They don't care. I don't care. Let me tell you something. I don't care if I run out of here in an oversized sweatshirt and some leggings. I'm still the queen. I'm still the queen. I'm a bad somebody. The clothes don't make me because I know who I am. So we're going to go deeper. And I know we don't have a lot of time to go deeper tonight. But just know between tonight and tomorrow, we're going to go deeper. Here's the thing. Think better thoughts. Not bigger thoughts, but better thoughts. Because who taught you to think that way? Who taught you to think you can't have all that you desire? Who taught you to think because of where you came from and what neighborhood you lived in, and because your lips are a certain size and your nose are a certain size and your feet are a certain size and your hair looks a certain way? Who taught you to believe that? No. Be more confident. What false identity made you believe that you were unqualified? You know, I had a baby when I was 15, and I remember feeling like I was unqualified for a long time. Like as if, they made me feel like the world was over, like I would never amount to anything. But what I realized, Mr. Whitehead, is God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. So when we think about stop procrastinating, right? People say that all the time. No, what are you afraid will happen if you actually become visible? We're really not afraid of being visible. We're afraid of the responsibility that becomes with being visible. And so we wanted to whet your palate tonight because we wanted you to understand that transformation does not happen when people get emotional. Transformation happens when people get honest. I'm going to say that one more time. Transformation does not happen when people get emotional. Transformation happens when people get honest. So identity, and we're going to continue this tomorrow. Identity is the root Behavior is the fruit. If you're taking notes, I want you to write that down. Identity is the root. Behavior is the fruit. Mindset with